Hey everybody, what's up? Chad Wesley Smith here. Wanted to talk to you about the idea of specificity in training, and this is a topic that I cover a lot. But actually, want to talk about the other side of it is when there could be too much specificity in your training. So the other day on Instagram, where most thoughtful sports science discussion occurs, there was someone who was very, very adamant that bodybuilding exercises, isolation exercises, do not have any place in the training of a strength athlete. And I'm here to explain why that's incorrect. All right, and I probably have myself to blame for some of this because I'm definitely a big advocate of specificity, but I'll place some of the other blame just on the general internet strength community. And as valuable as a thing as the internet is for learning about training and being exposed to new ideas and seeing videos and helping you get motivated and all that stuff, it's given people access to information that they don't need to know about yet, that they're not ready for necessarily, and they don't realize that they're not ready for it, or that information isn't appropriate for them to use in their training yet, and it kind of leads them off path. So, for example, we would look at the training of someone like Andre Milanichev, greatest powerlifter going right now, the best raw powerlifter of all time, and his training is extremely specific. Squat, bench, and deadlift, no variations, no assistance work, and someone who's maybe been training for 2 or 3 years, they see that and they say, well, this guy's the strongest lifter ever. I want to train like him. All right, but they're making the mistake of looking at the way that Milanichev is training right now. All right, and instead of looking at the training that he's done to get there. All right, and that's where the role of more bodybuilding style training and isolation exercises and more general exercises are going to come into play. So if you've read my article, Pyramid of Strength, and I'll link that below in the description. It discusses this idea more in depth, but basically the gist of it is that up at the tip of the pyramid, it's very narrow, very specific, and that would be where the highest qualified athletes reside, and there are very few exercises that fit at the tip of the pyramid, as I mentioned, very narrow, very specific. So the better you get, the more specific of training you'll need. But as you progress down the pyramid to less qualified athletes, people who haven't been training as long, who are not as accomplished, they can and should use more general exercises. And this idea can also be extrapolated not just to overall training concepts and the entire training career, but also even within the course of the short or medium term, like a single training cycle or maybe an annual plan. And this concept is called phase potentiation, and that what that's doing is that the previous or one training cycle is designed to help build up the next training cycle, to help you prepare you for the subsequent training cycle. So this could be as simple as having an off-season training cycle where you're doing higher rep ranges, greater exercise variation, more bodybuilding style work, in general less specific work or higher variation. And then as you get closer to a meet, you're going to increase specificity. You're going to do more of the competitive exercise. You're going to do lower rep ranges, higher percentages. The most specific thing that you can do as a powerlifter is squat, bench, and deadlift for 1 rep max in your competitive equipment, wherever that may be. But if that's all you do, you're really going to be selling yourself short, assuming that you're not Andre Milanichev. And if you're watching, Andre, how you doing? But for everyone else, for everyone else watching this, myself included, we need some degree more of variation than that. And doing bodybuilding style work and isolation exercises, that's only going to help build more muscle. And the more muscle you have, the more strength potential you're creating. So don't just think about training in the very short term, and that yes, if I want to improve my squat and I have 6 weeks to do it, squatting and very close squat variations are going to be the go-to there. But we don't have just 6 weeks to do it. We need to look at entire training cycles, entire training years, annual plans, and the entire training career for the athlete. So make sure you check out that article, Pyramid of Strength, as I mentioned, linked below in the description. And if you use the code JTS, you can get 10% off from Virus Action Sport Performance and free shipping. So hopefully you guys learn this, check that article out, and have a good one.